I've got a passion for healing, which is kind of becoming more stronger in my mind in the last couple of months. So given where I am today, in terms of where I am at, what can I do to, move closer to become a healer?
Well, we've been talking about it a little bit. We'll give you something more specific, but we want to explain to you. We just had the most amazing conversation with someone on the subject of healing, because there is a tendency to think, if I am a healer in my physical form, that somehow I will harness the energy of wellness and I will focus it towards someone who needs it, and they will be healed, sort of like zapping them with well-being. And the thing that's backwards about that is that you have to understand that everyone who is in need or desire of healing is already summoning all that is necessary from source. They're already asking, and source is already answering. So that stream has already been established. But if you see evidence that they are not recovering, it means something that's going on with them is blocking the recovery. The cells know what to do. The cells are asking, and source is answering. So there must be some reason that the request and the solution are not accomplishing the result that you are wanting. And the answer is always the same. There's something going on in the thinking process that is vibrationally disallowing the cells from receiving the solution they are seeking. So that's where you and we and brother come in. In other words, that's where none of us need to channel a stronger stream of energy. That would only make matters worse. Our work is in finding the words or finding the example of life that causes the person to offer less resistance than they were before, to make them a little more hopeful, a little more believing, a little more focused in what they want, a little less focused in what they don't want. That is what a healer does. A healer influences wellness, and you cannot influence wellness by looking at illness. That's why doctors have made such a hard path for themselves. They go looking for trouble, and they keep finding it, you see. And when you're focused upon that, you can't find the solution. Not all of them are, but that is the problem with most healing. Emphasis upon what needs to be healed. Feel the difference between, we've been talking about this emotional scale, and we want to say to you that well-being is downstream, healing is upstream. Because healing is looking right at what needs to be healed and trying to push it away, where wellness is ignoring what needs to be healed and flowing with the recovery that you're asking for, finding the feeling place of it. So the most powerful healer is the one who can visualize the wellness in the strongest of ways, and therefore convey vibrationally and verbally and in every other way your belief in the wellness. That is the power of a healer.
Great, thank you. Yeah. Myself and a few colleagues are getting together in the next 2 or 3 days to develop a holistic leadership program, something like leading from the soul or leading from within. Do you have any perspectives on what type of topics might be appropriate?
Well, you know, it's interesting. We see so many of you gathering together in this wanting to uplift, and you get so carried away in the trying to fix the worldliness of it. In other words, do you know that the most effective uplifters are those who do the best job of distracting people from their problems? And there's something about a holistic center that makes it sound like, come here, you broken one. And we will coddle you in some way and bring you to the alignment that you've never been able to find anywhere else. We'll do it in an alternative way. And what we'd rather that you say is, hey, a bunch of us are getting together and we're having a really good time, and we've sort of found out who we really are, and it's so fun to be who we really are and frolicking together. So if you'd like to have a good time, you'd like to find out who you are, if you'd like to get tuned into who you really are, if you're willing to leave your troubles behind and just come and have a good time with us, then this is the place. Or non-place.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need an idea and some good planning. You don't need to erect a building or gather a bunch of finances together. In other words, you just start with the idea of who you are, and you just set out and let law of attraction gather to you those who want to come to play with you in a variety of different ways. We would call it the No Longer Taking Life So Seriously Club. They all want in.
Just final question is, given where I am, and you said earlier you can see the vibrational escrows and all that good stuff. So given where I am, what can I do every day to become who I really am, line up with who I really am?
Follow your bliss, and if you can't feel your bliss, then follow your hope. And if you can't feel your hope, then follow your irritation. And if you can't feel your irritation, then follow your revenge. In other words, just reach for the best feeling that you can find from where you are, and trust that your feeling will take you on the path of least resistance to the fulfillment of everything that life has caused you to ask for. Sometimes people want a sort of fortune telling from us, and we're happy to give it to you because we've seen your vibrational escrow. We know about this holistic center that you are in the process of. We know the clarity and the depth of your conviction and your commitment to it. We also recognize that in order to get to where you want to be, you have to lighten up. In other words, and so if you ask us, is there any resistance within me? We would say, yes, of course. There's resistance within almost everyone. If you were to say, is it manageable? We would say, yes, of course, because you're aware of your emotions and you know what they mean. If you were to ask us, will I receive the fulfillment of what I've been asking for in this lifetime pretty early on, not so far from now? We would say, yes, but you're not going to get it done right away because there'll be so much more that occurs. If you were to ask, will I be a meaningful contributor to the upliftment of this planet because of the ideas that I have launched and the life that I've lived? We would say yes, emphatically we would say yes. If you were to say to us, is that my responsibility to do that? We would say no, emphatically no. Because in the moment that you make something your responsibility, you immediately turn upstream and slow yourself way, way down, you see. So you hear our message to you. Be easy about it, lighten up about it, be freer about it, and understand that those who will benefit by what you are doing are those that are somewhere in the vibrational vicinity of where you are. And there's a tendency as a healer and an uplifter to be doing really good, and then to see those not doing so good and want to go over there and get them and bring them back to where you are. But it never ever works, because when you go to get them, you lose your own way because you focus upon where they are. Focus upon what you want for humanity, or what you want for anyone who has inspired you, as our friend did earlier with his sister. Focus upon whatever you want, but then trust. And this is a little tricky, we know, but you can get there much more easily than you think. Trust that law of attraction will bring to you those who are ready for you. And don't try to manipulate the universe to bring those to you who aren't ready for you. If you let law of attraction match you all up, you'll have fun, and so will they. If you try to orchestrate it, you'll shift your vibration into a place that is not normal for you, and then in your not being who you are, you won't help them, and they won't help you, and none of you will have a good time, and it won't go anywhere. You follow what we're getting at? Know that there are plenty of teachers to bring anyone from wherever they are. Don't try to be all teachers to all people, because the vibrational variance does not make that make sense. So it's sort of like someone who wants to become famous, and they're trying to hone their craft, and they're trying to figure out how they can create this product, whatever it is, so that the whole world will want it. And we say, don't try to take polls of what the whole world wants and then try to bring yourself into alignment with what you think they want. It will get you upside down and all around. Instead, decide what you want from what life has shown you that you want, and you work to find vibrational alignment with that, and law of attraction will bring you your audience. You see, there's never a crowd on the leading edge, but you will never be happy anywhere else. You see, the crowd on the leading edge, here you are, The crowd on the leading edge is delicious in a co-creative environment. Good.
Thank you, Abraham.
Yes, indeed.